watching Rogers TV.
And St. Vincent Community Center here tonight for Ontario Series Lacrosse as the Owen Sound North Stars look to bounce back from their 0-1 start last weekend against Six Nations, here tonight against the traveling Ennismore James gang. Spencer Byerson alongside me, Steve McCarthy as always. And Steve, Owen Sound looking to get their first win of the year, and Ennismore, pardon me, looking to get their first win of the season and their first game of the OSL season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Owen Sound certainly let one get off the hook last weekend with a bad third period against Six Nations, but they battled hard throughout the whole game and just couldn't keep it going. And Ennismore has again been a tough bottom dweller the last few years, but they've added a lot of talent last half of last year, and it continued with some Peterborough Lakers draft picks that are in the lineup tonight. So we should see much improved, although a little bit looks like short-handed staff here tonight.
That they do. We'll see if that plays a factor as this game goes on, just as it did last weekend for Owen Sound against Six Nations, as we get ready for the national anthem here in Meaford. As we get ready for tonight's action, starting netminder for Owen Sound is Gavin Clark again. No surprise there, Steve, as he was so good last weekend. And the net for Ennismore will be Riley Finn. And no matter who steps in the cage for Ennismore, Steve, you told me before the game, they're both rookies. So Cole George or Riley Finn will be getting their first OSL action, no matter when they appear this year. Gavin Clark's first game of his OSL career was last weekend, so between those three netminders, you've got a whole one game of experience, so it'll be interesting to see if that plays a factor for either side here tonight. It didn't for Owen Sound last weekend, but we'll see if it does here tonight.
Yeah, Gavin certainly started off on the right foot, had a tough third period, but the Owen Sound defense just ran out of gas, and their parade to the penalty box proved to be a little bit overwhelming for the goaltender to continue to shut the door. So I'm sure they're looking to play a little more 5-on-5 tonight.
And Mike McLeod will be taking the face-off, something we did not see last weekend against Six Nations, and it is lost to Ennismore, who will gain the first possession of the night. It was Martinelli who got the face-off win for the James gang. And they will have the first offensive possession here in Meaford. That shot from outside, it was blocked, but never got anywhere near Gavin Clark, and the block there was by Rob Klopfer, one of the assistant captains of the North Stars, who was very good before he got ejected early in, I believe, the third period. That shot from a mile away, and it does make contact with Gavin Clark. Ball, I think, came loose because the player lost his stick before he ever had it, and away will go Owen Sound, and that was Braden Kruger, former transition player for the Junior B North Stars, former captain of the Junior B North Stars, plays it forward. Wyatt Barfoot now looking to get away with it. He does, and he plays it off. Rob Harris making his way towards that. Harris looking to fire it, never got away, never got an angle. Harris now out for Barfoot. That shot is in! Wyatt Barfoot, first shot, first goal for Owen Sound, and
yeah, that was a real heady play by Rob Harris. He got tied up there, but was able to get his stick loose, flipped the ball back to Wyatt, who ripped one, and it looked like Riley Finn had made the save, but a little English on the ball trickled over the goal line.
That it did. That's not going to help the save percentage for the rookie netminder. As a 1-0 lead early here for Owen Sound. That face-off again won by Ennismore. We're not able to gain possession immediately. Now they do, as Rob Colfer lost his stick, so he must go off. As now Ennismore will come back on to the offensive set. Played across the top. No chance to fire. That pass misses entirely and is taken away there by Owen Sound. Dustin Lance there with possession, who plays it forward there for Barfoot. Barfoot coming down the floor. Fakes it to Cascanet. Will now hand it off and down towards Cascanet for McElmoyle. Cascanet. Stick got snapped. Cascanet's going to look to fire. Doesn't end up having an angle. Technically, it's 5-on-4 as one of the Ennismore players doesn't have a stick. McNabb shot, save, rebound, great save. That was the newcomer. Adam Sargentson with that great shot and save. Player now got a fresh stick, so we're back to 5-on-5 here. McNabb back for Jordan Cascanet, just missed the referee in front. Sargentson, just good save there. Ball came behind the net though, and it's retrieved by Owen Sound. Great ball pressure here by the North Stars. McNabb's got it. McNabb fires, scores! Cut all the James gang looking as McNabb gets his first of the night. I believe third or fourth of the season, Steve, and that's an early 2-0 lead for Owen Sound.
Yeah, a little hidden ball trick here. Jake flipped it. They all thought he had flipped it off. And, that was nicely executed. Jordan Castanet started cradling the ball, which he didn't ever had, and Jake had the wide open net to put it home.
Carson Stevenson now in the face-off. Doesn't end up winning that one, but Owen Sound, I thought, had it. Ball goes towards the boards. It's basically 4-on-4 against the boards and picked up by Ennismore.
Yeah, Owen Sound's been a little guilty. So far tonight, a couple loose balls off the draw, and then a lot of the draws last week against Six Nations where they technically won the draw, but were unable to pick up that loose ball.
And now Barfoot's going to go here on a break. Does get fended off before he ever gets near the net, so he'll have to wait up. He plays it back. Maudsley plays it back now to Harris. Harris for McNabb. He plays it down. That shot whistled wide. Retrieved, though, by Owendale. Back up now for Cascanet. That shot deflected before it ever gets towards the net, and it's going to go Owen Sound's way. Or pardon me, go Ennismore's way.
Oh, Rob Harris, nice pick
Rob
off
Harris
there.
stole it before it ever got away, so that's a fresh shot clock. Harris battling his way towards the net. Harris shot! Great save there by the netminder Finn. His first save of the night. Well, actually, I believe his second or third save of the night, but first possession Owen Sound will not score as they kept possession every shot they took last time and were able to capitalize with their second goal. Right back towards the red line. That is a new rule in effect. I'll explain it in just a second. That shot from Dennis, good save there by Gavin Clark. That the center line during power plays and regular play is still a factor. There's still an over and back regardless of time, as that was another good save there by Gavin Clark as down goes a North Star there in their own end, but away they will come. That's Dustin Lance fighting his way through. Trying to get it off, and they finally do. It's for Jordan Cascanet. I think there's going to be a minor going against Ennismore. There will be, so Cascanet. 6-on-5 for Owen Sound for about 5 more seconds. Cascanet fires it. Good save there by Finn, and never got possession. Stepped in before he could shoot there was Colin Maudsley. So now the first power play of the game will go Owen Sound's way, and we'll see what the offense can do here. A lot more offensive runners, though, Steve, than they did last weekend against Six Nations. Do the North Stars have?
Yeah, they do have a couple. Looks like 3 new faces, plus Sargentson if he's going to play up front. They even got Mike McLeod here down on the crease. So, yeah, a few more options than they had last week. Although Fitzpatrick and Jordan McMillan, who started off the season, I think, with 3 goals, is not in the lineup tonight.
McNabb. McLeod. McNabb. Back for McNabb. That shot deflected and I believe saved, and it was saved. Pass came from McKenzie. McNabb trying to play some defense there in the offensive zone. Trying to get over the center line. They do, and a big hit there by double A's Andrew Kelly. Stood him up right there at the red line, but Ennismore does get it over. And there is, Steve, from my recollection now, an 8-second rule period, so you got to get the ball over at the center line in 8 seconds or less, and then once you cross it, you can't come back.
Correct.
That ball right through the stick there of an Ennismore James gang, and they're just going to let it go for the shot clock, and started there by Wyatt Barfoot, the captain. The first goal scorer here is now Jordan Cascadet will retrieve it, and Cascadet will escort it. Now for McKenzie. McNabb. McKenzie. Back for Cascadet. McKenzie. McKenzie fakes it, back for Cascadet, fires in, scores! Jordan Cascadet makes it 3, just under 5 through. Exactly 5:06 into the first, 3-0 Owen Sound, and the offense had its moments last week against Six Nations, Steve. Tonight, it's been all orange and white.
Yeah, they've certainly controlled the play, and anytime you get power plays, you're going to expect to score, more than half the time. So, again, some simple ball movement, nothing tricky, not really running a lot of off-ball plays here, but a little bit of a twister shot by Cascadet, and he found the hole.
And I will mention that Riley Finn, the netminder, when he go to the bench, I thought for a second it was a goalie change this early, but it is, he just go for a drink, and hopefully a reset there for the Ennismore James gang netminder. As trying to get around there was Ennismore. Played across the top, looking to fire that one right off the boot of Gavin Clark. Retrieved by the shooter, lost his footing and never got a second chance at it. But Ennismore does still have possession of the ball. That shot whistled wide, and it will go all the way down for the over and back, and possession will go Owen Sound's way. And that also, Steve, will play teams kind of shocked, I would say, is the new over and back rule, because when you take a wicked shot early in the shot clock and it goes by everybody, it's a free possession the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to want to be more cognizant of where you're shooting the ball from, and paying attention off ball in case you can cut that rebound off the boards and keep possession.
McNabb, what a pass, it scores! The newcomer, Sargentson, gets on the board. It's 4-0 Owen Sound.
And again, real nice footwork down low. He didn't step in the crease. He reached around and had a little dive, which, the rules have become a little bit more liberal with that respect, and put it away far side. And so far, so good with 4 goals in the first 6 minutes here.
Not even 6 minutes, 5:50 to be exact. As Martinelli goes up against Stevenson. Stevenson wins that one, and really picked up by Barfoot. That's going to be over and back against Barfoot. He forgot where he was.
Yeah, you just have to be thinking about that, so you can't hesitate. So you got to make sure you have an outlet before you cross that center line.
That shot saved by Clark. Clark holds it, and we'll get back to possession. For those who don't watch, I'll say, basketball, where that is a common rule, the over and back rule, it's kind of like the blue line in lacrosse now, or the blue line of hockey, should I say, where once you cross the blue line with the ball, you got to stay there. You can't go back. Right towards the net. Got that. Stepped in the crease before he ever shot it. I thought he lost it before he ever had a chance at it. That was Dawson McKenzie there with the attempt. Taken away by McNabb. McNabb in! Off the crossbar! Retrieved! That shot! What a save there by Finn. A great job to recollect, but great offensive defense, I'll call it, by Owen Sound. A couple steals there deep in the Ennismore zone. Cascadet cruising. Plays it over, looking to move there. Maudsley shoots it, that one handcuffed and wide. Maudsley picks it back up, in! Great save there by Finn, it scoots into the corner. That ball scooped right into the netting, and Owen Sound will keep it. It's all been orange here in the first period here in Meaford. We're barely 7 minutes gone. That shot from Iowa scores! McNabb with a pair! 5-0 Owen Sound. Just under 7 through the first.
Yeah, and that turnover in the corner with the ball bounced off the stick and out of play gave Owen Sound that secondary possession, and McNabb let him play. And again, nice pick by Dawson McKenzie there. Drew 2 guys, allowed Jake to step into the underhand, and again, he buried it.
Stevenson. It goes back. And running it in there will be Jake Doolittle. Doolittle's going to wait for some offensive options. He'll play it off now for Mike McLeod, and McLeod will play it off. There to Rob Harris. Harris gets the screen from McElmoyle. Harris right into the chest protector. That's a good save there by Riley Finn. Right around the net they're going to go, and McElmoyle will take a lick for his trouble. Finally into the offensive zone will come Ennismore. That pass across on a 2-on-1, missed the intended target. First maybe real chance for the James gang, goes for naught.
Yeah, real nice play in transition, and they caught Owen Sound late in the change. You got to hustle off the floor.
Now Cascanet down for McNabb. Back for Jordan Cascanet. Got 15 to work. Cascanet back for one of the newcomers. That ball for McNabb missed the intended target. Pass came from McKenzie. Picked back up though by the shooter, and McNabb not able to capitalize there, but the ball is still loose, and Cascanet trying to play chase. Ball does come loose finally, and Ennismore will have a chance here. That shot right into the shoulder there of the netminder. Ball loose, retrieved though by Ennismore. Churchill there with the shot and the reception. Churchill I had a chance to speak to. You'll see that interview during the first intermission here tonight. That ball right behind the net, it ends up going. I'm not sure if that was a shot or a pass. Ended up being a pass, as Ennismore got about 12 seconds left to work here. Back for Churchill. Churchill's gonna fire, and that one was saved right into Andrew Kelly's stick, and Kelly will go behind the back doors. Doolittle. Doolittle's got a runner. He gets back for McNabb. McNabb in! Scores! The hat trick! The third for number 3. McNabb makes it 6-0 Owen Sound.
Yeah, and a great look there by Jake Doolittle catching McNabb coming off the bench. And I will say, if Jake McNabb can run that fast up the floor, it'll be fun to see him run that fast back playing defense the odd time. But again, great job by both Jakes to combine here on their 6th goal of the first period.
I think we call that selective speed in football, selective speed. As that ball was drawn. Well, I'm not exactly sure who ended up winning that face-off draw. It looks like Ennismore, though, will gain the possession, and they do.
It was indeed impressive downhill speed there. That's quite a burst.
Looking to fire there, plays it across. It does get to the intended target. Good save, though, by Clark, as getting hand with there is Lance. Lance just going to basically fist it forward, and that's going to be retrieved there by Doolittle. And Doolittle's going to go. 3-on-2 here with all defenders. Doolittle going to fire. Doolittle save there, and that ball just bounces by him and Barfoot, but Barfoot's able to retrieve it. So now the defensive guys will go off, as Harris will wait for his cohorts to make their way onto the floor. Cascanet got 7 to work. Cascanet's gonna fire. No, he's not. He hands it off. Harris missed him. And that should be a possession change. No, it's not gonna be though, because the possession ended up going to the netminder. Maybe a little misplay there by Riley Finn, as battling in a way will come McElmoyle. McElmoyle back there for Cascanet. Tenacious in the offensive zone, have been Owen Sound so far through about 10 minutes. McElmoyle got dumped, and I think that pass was for him, but it ends up getting all the way back into McKenzie in front. Harris shot. That's a great save by Finn. Finn wanted to wait. That ball just by the stick there of Rob Harris, and now away will come Owen Sound, or come to Ennismore. Churchill. One of the leading point getters last year for the James gang. Pass across the top there for the James gang. Dennis back for Churchill. That shot didn't make its way to the net. Back in front, trying to swim around. Lost the stick before it ever, lost the ball before it ever was in a shooting position. As away will come. Oh, it's down and got turned before he could turn the corner there. Looked like Colin Kittle, former captain of the Junior North Stars, but it got to McNabb regardless. I guess you'd call that a hip check.
There'll be
Steve.
A penalty on the play. I'm not sure if it's going to be a trip or what they're going to call it here, but
McLeod there will fire it, bounced, and into the netting it will go. So Owen Sound, it's going to be a trip. And it looked kind of like a hip check on second look there, Steve. I wonder if the great Mark Periel can show us that one again.
Yeah, it was, again, you don't see a lot of that. So whether it caught referee Coulter off kilter there, I thought it was pretty clean, but nonetheless.
Second power play chance for Owen Sound. They're 1 for 1 so far tonight. The Cascanet marker being the third goal of the first period. Cascanet. McKenzie will fire that one right into the netting there of the netminder. I'm going to have to ask you a question here, Steve, in a minute, as there's going to be a call going the other way, and McNabb will keep it.
Yeah, an illegal pick there on the transition, so...
Maudsley.
Yeah.
Cascanet. McKenzie. McNabb fires. That one saved. McKenzie's got to go running for it, and he should get there, and he will get there. McKenzie for Cascanet. Back for McKenzie. McNabb gonna fire again and scores! Number 4 for McNabb makes it 7-0 and a timeout taken. Oh, another T. I can't tell if those are...
I'm not sure.
Were those technicals?
Well, it looks like Owen Sound is going to be shorthanded there. Must have been some kind of taunting or...
I'm not sure what that was, but away will go Colin Maudsley.
Both are going, so we're going to be even Steven here, it looks like.
Must have been some barking the referee didn't like, as Maudsley will go sit, and so will an Ennismore James gang member, as the goalie change that I thought happened earlier is now happening now. Cole George will go in, Riley Finn will come out, so 7-0 to score with 8:24 left in the first period as the goalie change will be made. As yeah, they're gonna have to wait for the netminder, I think, right? No, they're not.
Well, they
I'm
should.
Confused here.
They should. There should be communication with the referees there that they're making the goaltending change. Yeah.
I was wondering if they were going to go early. I'm not sure that was legal. And I was going to ask you about Riley Finn's net, because it wasn't like an old Woody. It was basically looked like to me like a mixture between the NLL net, which Cole George uses, and the regular Woody most other goalies use. But my question now is meaningless as the new netminder is in. So it will be the first OSL appearance for both Riley Finn and Cole George here tonight. That ball floated for McNabb, who's got 4 already. We talked about the three-headed monster of McMillan, Cascanet, and McNabb. McNabb's got 4, Cascanet's only got 1. McElmoyle. Yep. Back for Harris. McNabb got 8 to work. It is 4-on-4, might I add. McNabb's gonna have to fire here. No, he's not. Harris couldn't get a fire away. Still can't get real possession of it. Gonna have to fire. Never got it away. And he got tagged for his trouble. Hit right as the whistle went there for the Ennismore James gang.
Yeah, Jake Strosher, who's been around this league on a number of teams, and I had the pleasure of coaching him in the Arena Lacrosse League in Oshawa, where he's still a member.
That shot right into the wickets there. Save there by Gavin Clark, who hasn't had as much work as he did against Six Nations, but has been up to task so far. Doolittle gonna cruise in. Lays it off now for Jordan Cascanet, who does have 1. It came on the power play earlier in this period. Right across the top, McNabb gonna cruise down. What a pass in front! Shot as he stepped in. I'm not sure if he did touch the white paint there, Steve. Hard to tell, as possession will go back to Owen Sound and go back to McNabb. Back up top now for Andrew Kelly. Kelly playing some offense here, 4-on-4. Down for Cascanet. Cascanet gonna cruise in! Great save there by George. Back out for McNabb. McNabb fires. That one will whistle wide. Can Kelly get there? He does. Possession stays with Owen Sound. They've really done well in the offensive zone to keep the possession. Kelly, back for McNabb. McNabb will fire. Good save there, and retrieved by Cole George, who will fire it forward, and that should be a good chance, and it will be a 2-on-1. Barfoot the only one out. Played across, back in front. That one never got on target. Ball bounces away, and it should be, and it will be retrieved by Owen Dale and Owen Sound. Now the other way they'll come. Rob Kupfer's got possession of it. The alternate captain, will now make cruise his way off. Back now for McNabb. McNabb for Cascanet. Play down there for Maudsley. Back to 5-on-5. Maudsley fires, and it got deflected. Never made its way towards the net, but Sargentson was one of the only ones who saw it. So Marginson went cruising in after it. Just couldn't get a hold of it. Possession will go back to the black shirts, and away they'll come. Mancini now with possession. Just under 6 to go here in the opening frame. 7-0 in favor of the home side. Played across the top there by Dennis. That That shot by Churchill, whistled wide and retrieved there by Doolittle. Doolittle's gonna get crunched, never got hit, and Lott kept possession. 2-on-1 the other way. Him and McNabb. Over. McNabb. Great save. Rebound. Scores!
Well, the Jakes team up again for another transition goal.
Four.
Yep.
4 straight for McNabb. His 5th of the day. A 5-star opening frame for McNabb. And they're going to do a little water there for the new coming netminder there in Cole George, who's got to get a little bit of, looks like actually a wardrobe fix there on his pad. And we'll mention that Cole George uses the NLL stick, the smaller stick, as well as, it looks to me, Steve, as a field lacrosse helmet.
There are still a few goalies that still wear the field lacrosse helmet as well. It certainly was real popular for a number of years, but a lot of them have opted to go with the hockey helmet style. But nonetheless, he is one of the very few that will use the spoon in the summer when the woodies are legal.
And now Kelly will take it. Not sure who had that ball. Everyone converged on the dot, and the ball ended up getting in the hands there of Owen Sound, and Andrew Kelly was going to race his way off now. Trying to find a lane there was Maudsley. Maudsley had to actually retreat, and Kelly's going to stay. Maudsley finds his way towards the net, lost possession right in the restricted area. Now McElmoyle will try to get his possession back. And Kelly tried to go for the big hit. He missed the line just a little bit there. Racing back towards the red line. That ball's going to be over and back, and yes, it will be. And I'm surprised there Doolittle didn't try to force them and try to go quick there off that bounce, but he'll now retrieve it and fire it back for Harris. Rob Harris will saunter his way in the offensive zone, waiting for some reinforcements. Harris making his way towards the net. That shot missed everybody and will be retrieved there at the back row by McKenzie. McKenzie looking to fire, plays it back for McNabb. McNabb looking to cruise down. We'll get the screen from Sargentson. McNabb back for McKenzie. They'll switch spots, it looks like. No, sweep by McKenzie, who lost it. Picked back up by McNabb. McNabb lost it, and we'll go into the corner. Sargentson trying to play it. Ennismore is trying to let the shot clock go, and I think they're gonna. And that will be the way that transpires. Shot clock will go.
Yep, smart play by Ennismore to let that clock wind down rather than try to pick it up in a crowd.
You also got to think, Steve, that at this point, this period, you have to kind of just wait for zeros and try to recollect here in the intermission. Dennis looking to fire, played over. Lost a footing a little bit there with Churchill. Played back across there for Dennis. Bryce Dennis looking to fire it. He shot, great save there, and picked up by Barfoot. Whistle's going to go.
Looks like we're going to get a high sticking call here against Owen Dale, I believe.
And it is Owen Dale going for the high stick. So the first power play for the James gang will come their way. This could be exactly what they need in the last 3 minutes and 45 seconds of the first period. As you also mentioned it in the beginning there, Steve, that Ennismore is down quite a few runners. They're a little short tonight, so being down by such a big margin is going to be even tougher for them, as again, they're going to be tired as this game goes on, just by proxy of bodies. Dennis fires it, that one whistled wide, and that will be an over and back. And that's again, Steve, where we mentioned it also a little earlier about having to be a little more picky with your shot selection, because if that ball does make its way all the way back to your own end, you don't get possession. It'll go the other way.
Yep, no doubt Owen Sound here will want to gnaw 30 seconds off this penalty, and wouldn't be surprised to see them try to go to the net.
Maudsley. They've had a lot of success with that tonight, Steve. They've also had a lot of success of getting the ball back off a shot. So if they can do that a couple of times, this power play will be not very advantageous for the James gang, you could say. Right across the top there for McKenzie, for McElmoyle. McElmoyle's got 10 to work here. Back for McNabb. McNabb gonna fire. That ball whistled wide and should go the other way, and it will.
Yeah, again, I think they'd be wise, even though it's an 8-0 game, to really work on game situation opportunities like this, and taking a shot from that far out with still a fair number of 7 or 8 seconds left in the shot clock isn't what they want to look at doing.
Looking to cruise in. There's Ennismore. That shot right into the legs there of the netminder. Barfoot got a hold of it, gets a couple of whacks for his trouble as he'll try to cruise it up the floor, and a good screen there by Owen Sound as Barfoot makes it all the way in. Barfoot got a runner, just got it there, but Doolittle wasn't in a good shooting spot now, but Kupfer shot. Great save there by George. What a rush chance there by Owen Sound, but a cherry picker the other way. Breakaway scores! The first one for the James gang. Off the power play will be Riley Caldwell.
Yeah, that was a heads-up play by Ennismore. Having the man up, they could afford to hang a guy down the floor, and nobody in Owen Sound noticed, nor did the bench. You didn't hear anybody calling to get back, send a guy back. So smart play, and they get a power play in an unorthodox fashion.
That they do. 8-1 now the score with about 2:36 left here in the opening stanza. Fighting for it there right in the red line. No one's got possession of it. The ball will now bat towards Ennismore. That ball bounces away, and it'll be a 2-on-0. Andrew Kelly in off the crossbar. Ball bounced right by Braden Kruger, and now it picked up by Ennismore. No, it won't be. It'll be picked up by Carson Stevenson. Carson Stevenson will retreat a little bit and give it off, I assume, to Braden Kruger, and he will. And now Kruger will cruise his way in. Kruger will give it off to Harris. They're going to keep Kruger in there. Harris fires it. That ball right into the wickets, picked up by it, almost there by it looked to be Owen Sound. That ball fired across, and it will be just retrieved here at the red line. Running in there for Ennismore. Harassed, though, by one of the offensive players there, and Rob Harris, who's going to play some defense here. That ball right across. That shot blocked for never made its way there to Doolittle, and it will bounce into the Owen Sound bench. Ennismore plays it right back across. Churchill shot. Good save there by Clark. Doolittle trying to get away there as it comes right into the restricted area for Clark, who will have it whacked out of his stick and picked up by Barfoot. There will be a minor, though, behind the play against, I believe, Churchill. As now McNabb will wait for most of this shot clock to go off, which you'd say is smart by Owen Sound. As McNabb for McKenzie. 6-on-5 for about 8 seconds left. McNabb gets the screen. McNabb's gonna fire. No, he's not. Trying to get it to Cascanet right through his stick, and the possession will stay with Owen Sound as the minor will go to Churchill behind the play.
Yeah, great look by Jake going across the floor down to the crease. Looked like Jordan was wide open, but he might have been screened a little bit with the sticks up through the zone and couldn't pick up the pass. But great idea by Jake, as he is known as a shooter, as all the attention went his way, and he was able to find an open player across crease on the skip pass.
1 for 2 here on the power play for Owen Sound. Look to go 2 for 3 here in the first frame, or take it into the second period, up 8-1. Looking to fire McKenzie. That ball, I believe, was saved. Rebound, another good save there by Cole George. Cascanet, though. McKenzie, McNabb fires. That's another save there by Cole George. That ball given away. Cascanet in, back in front, scores! McNabb making 6. It's 9-1 Owen Sound. 2 for 3 on the man advantage for the North Stars. 22.9 left here, as Ennismore, I think, is just trying to get that hourglass out of sand.
Yeah, that was, again, a tough play. Heads up by Cascanet, picked off the transition pass from the goaltender, and froze him in his crease and passed it off to Jake, who he just had to bury it far side.
Face-off tied up. Stevenson trying to win it. It goes the Churchill way here for Ennismore, trying to make a break towards the net. That shot never got it towards the net minor. They're going to say it was deflected off of, it looks to be Dogue, so the point will stay there with Owen Sound. Penalty towards Owen Sound here, so Ennismore should go into the second period with a power play, as they're going to lose it. Barfoot will touch it, so with 3.3 seconds left, Ennismore will get their second power play of the game. They are 1 for 1 here tonight. Their only goal coming on the man advantage.
Got us again, some kind of slash. Didn't see the initial play, but looks like Carson Stevenson got nailed there for the 2 minutes.
They've got too many men on the floor. Oh, they pulled the netminder for the last 6 seconds. That shot never got to the netminder there in Gavin Clark. So the period will end 9-1 in favor of Owen Sound, Steve. And I think a good thing I spoke to teams before the game because they can't yell at me in between the intermissions. Because 9-1 in favor of Owen Sound. Very potent on the offense. And now I can say it, Steve. Correct me if I'm wrong, but against Six Nations, was it 11-9 final, 12-9 final?
Yeah, in that range, yes. So.
Well, I knew Owen Sound had 9 because they've now matched that through 60 against Six Nations in 20 against Ennismore, and I don't think they're going to stop after 9 here after 20, so it'll be interesting to see how the James gang try to respond in that second period. But in fairness, Cole George has been very good for them since he came in for relief of Riley Fitt.
Yeah, he has. He certainly has been exceptional, actually. And, the North Stars, they have to keep doing what they've been doing. And the defensive side of the game has been impressive. They've really limited the Ennismore inside. Everything almost is coming from the outside with the exception of that goal. And we'll see if they can keep that up.
They've also been very good at ball retention in the offensive zone, but coming on back from the break here in the first intermission, you'll get a chance to see myself, Spencer Byers, interviewing Ennismore James gang leading point getter last year, Adam Churchill. So stay tuned for that here as you watch OSL Lacrosse on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Carol Merton, host of We All Belong, Our Neighbors, Our Community, a new Rogers TV series promoting the diversity of our community in Grey County. Please join me on Rogers TV.
This is a perfectly healthy child. What's unhealthy are birth alerts. A racist practice that may stop this Indigenous mother from going home with her newborn. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Hi, my name is Adrian Musso, and I am a phys ed teacher at École St. Dominique Savio in Owen Sound. I work with kids from grades 1 through 12, and at Rogers TV, I am the color commentator for the Owen Sound Attack, so I spend most of my Saturday nights at the Bay Shore. What I like most about volunteering at Rogers is the sense of community that you get. I moved to Owen Sound about 6 years ago, and in my second year here, I started to volunteer at Rogers, and I got to know a lot of people in the community, a lot of more faces coming to say hi to me on the concourse at the Bay Shore, and it just made me feel a part of the city. When I think of Owen Sound, I think of hockey, and I think that's a lot of people here in Owen Sound as well. If you're trying to find a new outlet, trying to broaden your horizons and try new things, I think volunteering at Rogers is a great step.
Hi, I'm Carol Merton, host of HealthLink on Rogers TV. HealthLink connects home, community, and healthcare with interesting topics and speakers about your health and your community.
And welcome back here in the first intermission of the St. Vincent and Meaford Community Center here tonight. First intermission here with Adam Churchill of the Ennismore James gang. Adam, big game for you guys here tonight. First of the season, I guess. Kind of what's it been like for you trying to get your guys ready for the first game of the year?
It's been fun. It's fun every single year, right? I know some of the guys play in the Winter League through the year, some of the guys don't, but no matter what, anytime we can get a stick back in our hands, it's always fun to play, right?
Absolutely, and again, first game of the OSL season. Owen Sound's already played one. They are 0-1 so far, losing to Six Nations just last weekend. So I guess, what's it like playing against a team you know has already kind of gotten some of those legs out of themselves, trying to get themselves ready for their second game of the year now?
Nothing really changes for us. I know no matter what, we always just show up to the arena knowing we got a game to play, and whether it's the best team or the worst team, we're going to play them the same amount.
Well, my last question here for you before I let you go and get ready for the second period is, what do you feel like is a big key for you guys here tonight to get a win?
Ball movement, and like always, we got to start working on chemistry. We got a lot of new guys out there this year, like every team always does. But as long as we can get the team going together and kind of get a family going, then we should have a fun season.
Thank you so much, Adam Churchill of the Ennismore James gang, one of the leading point getters last year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, and right back here with the second period after this on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking on Rogers TV. Join me this fall for more interviews with our local, provincial, and federal politicians. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Lynn from Third Eye View, and welcome to a brand new season that we're looking forward to. We have some return guests and some brand new guests. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your summer, stay safe.
This year, 2 groups of veterans and 2 teams of rookies compete to renovate 4 identical houses with their own signature style.
In the ultimate neighborhood knockout, we're gonna keep things fresh.
Get down and dirty.
And bury the competition.
Rock the Buck on HGTV.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy. Or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
Welcome back here to the Meaford Inn St. Vincent Community Center. I'm Spencer Byers. Thank you so much for tuning in. 9-1 after 1 in favor of Owen Sound over the Ennismore James gang. And the lights haven't come on up top here in Meaford, so I'm a little dark if you couldn't already tell, but a big first period for Owen Sound. Jake McNabb's got 5 markers after 20 minutes of play, including his 3 last weekend against Six Nations. That's 8 goals in 2 games there for the leading point getter of the Owen Sound North Stars. Cass Canet also got 1 on the power play. He continues his hot start from last weekend against Six Nations, and it has been a stellar play here for the Owen Sound North Stars here tonight. Steve McCarthy is with me, but he's got to figure out who Rob Harris is, because he and I were both very impressed with how good Rob Harris was for the Owen Sound North Stars, especially on the power play, as a couple new offensive runners for Owen Sound here tonight, and they did not have against Six Nations down in Durham that they do have here tonight in Meaford. They will play again tomorrow against the same James Gang team, so do stay tuned for more lacrosse tomorrow at 4 o'clock sharp. But for tonight, we still got 20 more minutes of play, and I think with that, Mark, I've got about everything I need out of my system. We'll be back with the second period between the Ennismore James Gang and the Owen Sound North Stars after this on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Carol Merton, host of We All Belong, Our Neighbors, Our Community, a new Rogers TV series promoting the diversity of our community in Grey County. Please join me on Rogers TV.
In hockey, only one name transcends the game. It's not Gordy, the great one, or the great 8. Not a Bobby, or a Bob. Not Sid the Kid, or this kid either. And it's not Connor, and no, not even that Connor. The one name that rises above all others is Stanley.
Lord Stanley.
My name is Nick Kennedy, and I'm in Owen Sound here. I work at Owen Sound Alliance Church as a pastor for my job, and I've been volunteering here with Rogers for about 2 years, doing some play-by-play and hosting the TAC Wrap here as well. I'm here at Attack Wrap once a week on Tuesday evenings to film an episode. We have a few players every week come on the show and we talk all things hockey and break down the games from that past week. Yeah, well, I think you should volunteer with Rogers if you're looking to get connected in the community. I know my wife and I moved up here almost 3 years ago now, and whether it's people from the rink or from the church or from Rogers TV or people who watch the show, I think basically every time I go out to do groceries or run an errand, I'm bumping into somebody that I know or somebody that knows me, and it's been a great way to really embrace the small town feel.
Hi, I'm Carol Merton, host of HealthLink on Rogers TV. HealthLink connects home, community, and healthcare with interesting topics and speakers about your health and your community.
And welcome back here to the Meaford and St. Vincent Community Center. 20 minutes gone between the Owen Sound North Stars and the Ennismore James Gang. 9-1 the score line in favor of the listed home side North Stars. Spencer Byers and alongside me, Steve McCarthy. And Steve, a very good first period for Owen Sound, something that I would say caught both us off guard. It's not that Owen Sound won the first period by 8 goals. A very, very great first period, you could say, by Owen Sound.
Yeah, they did a great job capitalizing on a lot of miscues that Ennismore conducted in their own end and chased the goaltender relatively early, and they played real strong defense. So they're certainly full marks for the 9-1 lead.
Jordan Cascanet taking the face-off, lost it, but did fight for it there as Carson Stevenson, the guy who's supposed to be taking face-offs here tonight, is in the box, and limping there was the guy who took the face-off for Ennismore. Has got to get a fourth guy out there. Owen Sound is Barfoot now. Played it right across the floor. Now back there for McNabb. About 8 seconds left here on the shot clock. Down low for Klopfer, who might just hold it there for the last couple of seconds. He'll take it, scores! Rob Klopfer! Scored from behind the goal line, it looked like.
Yeah, his feet might have been in which you had the goalie made the save and he's behind the line. It does not count as a shot on goal. However, you can score from there. So we'll see the replay here, and Robbie kind of tucked in behind the referee. We never did see where his feet were, irregardless. Heads up play, the goaltender was sort of sleeping there, off his back shoulder and in the net.
Rob Klopp for his first goal of the OSL season. As rushing in there was, that looked to be Wyatt Barfoot, trying to get possession back off the face-off. So Cascanet's gonna have to go back and play some defense. That ball played in the middle, that shot ringed off the post. Ennismore got a little bit more vigor there on offense, it looks like.
And it's funny, Ennismore, I believe, only has 5 righties dressed tonight. 4 of them happen to be out there on that power play. So a little bit of a miscue from the bench.
Trying to get away here, Owen Sound, and away will go Doolittle. You spoke about his one-on-one defensive acumen last weekend against Six Nations, and that's continued here tonight. That's a great job there by Doolittle to get around. Minor's going against Ennismore too, so a great job there by Doolittle. 5-on-5 now for about 10 more seconds. Trying to get away there is Maudsley. Maudsley will fire it, that's a good save, and will bounce and out of play? No, it will be an over and back, I thought. And the shot clock will go, so now possession will go back to Owen Sound in the offensive zone, as away for 2 or less will go Evan Taylor, of the Ennismore James Gang for a slash. So a great job and good work there by Jake Doolittle. Will give Owen Sound 4-on-4 for 14 seconds, and then another power play where they're 2 for 3 here tonight. As Ennismore will now move to 1 and 2 on the man advantage. As now we'll start with McNabb, Cascanet. I think they're just gonna try to chew up that last 14 seconds of 4-on-4. Cascanet, McNabb, over, and now it will be 5-on-4 for Owen Sound for about 12 seconds before the shot clock will go. McNabb fires it, that one deflected. It will scoot wide, and away it's gonna go. Can McNabb get there? He can, but only got 5 to shoot. so got to be able to get at this possession. McLeod couldn't get a hold of it. He now does. Gonna have to fire it. Never does. And the shot clock will go.
Yeah, great effort there by Jake to keep that ball from going over center, but wasn't able to get it to a teammate who was in a good shooting position.
Begley will get it over the floor. Begley will now retreat and restart towards the net. Played right across the floor there by Ennismore. Churchill. Right in front, hit off the intended target and will send the possession the other way. As Cascanet will start with it. 1:09 left here on the man up for Owen Sound. Cascanet for McNabb. McNabb down now for Maudsley. Maudsley back for Cascanet. McNabb for McKenzie. McKenzie thought about firing, now for McLeod. McLeod. McKenzie fakes it. McKenzie, what a play. McLeod looking to fire, and he does! Great save! Did it go? No, it didn't. Mike McLeod almost with some nifty stick work there. Got his first of the year as that ball just gets around McLeod and McNabb. Martinelli now with possession, trying to chew up the rest of this power play. Got about 10-second difference between the shot clock and the power play. 10 seconds remaining now on the shot clock. Churchill loses his footing almost again. Something he's been struggling with here tonight is his footing. That ball almost misses Dennis entirely. Will get a chance to fire. It will go wide, I thought, and it did. So possession will start with Owen Sound here. And now will come Barfoot.
Didn't get much going on the power play that time around. Ennismore did a good job, and there was a opportunity by Mike McLeod, but that was about it.
That's McKenzie. Give it off to McNabb. McNabb will fire it through some traffic. That ball bounces sky high and just retrieved there by the netminder. Looking for the home run ball, ends up not going for it, and will hand it off there to Churchill. We'll mention the advantage of using the NLL smaller stick is the stick handling is easier as Churchill scores! Adam Churchill gets himself on the board, and it's 10-2 now in favor of Owen Sound.
Yeah, there was some loose defense there by Owen Sound, and a real nice pick thrown by Begley there to spring the lane open, and he was able to walk in and pump 6 or 7 fakes, and Gavin Clark really had no chance. Looks like Jake Doolittle, who is as good as they get in this league, fell there, lost his footing, so allowed Churchill to just kind of walk right down the lane.
As Stevenson wins it, trying to whack it back, and it will be picked up there by Klopfer. Klopfer over now. Trying to get it over there, and it looks like they do there. And then they end up losing it.
Yeah, Barfoot tried to pass across floor and didn't get a lot on.
That's over and back. And it is an over and back, and what a smart play there by Owen Sound. That was Dustin Lance, and he knew the rule. He pointed at the ground. Just got the pass there to Lance, did to McNabb. McNabb will now wait for some reinforcements.
Yeah, Justin Lance has played really well the first couple of games this season. After not playing last year, he graduated a couple of years ago from the Junior Bs and was on the club a couple seasons ago, but he's looked pretty steady out here.
Also been a coach of the Junior B team from my recollection. That shot from a mile away, good save, that was McElmoyle. Got to get it away here, does the netminder. Again, 8 seconds to get rid of the ball. Gives it away to McNabb almost. It's got to be an 8-second. You got to think, though, they just throw it down the floor because that 8-second rule. Out to come get it will be Clark. That ball bounces in the restricted area, and it will be retrieved there by Clark. Almost like whacking his own net there for a second as Kruger will get it and cruise in.
That was the longest 8 seconds we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I'm not counting myself, but I almost ran into fingers, I thought. As Cascanet, McNabb trying to get free. McNabb, or Cascanet shot, that's a good save there by Cole George, who again's been very good here in relief of starter Riley Finn. Both Finn and George are both rookie netminders in the OSL level, so that shot, Churchill never actually got away with it. He got through about the first 2 and lost it after the third white shirt got involved as that ball's passed up for Klopfer, who will cruise in. Klopfer, back for McNabb. McNabb will roll it, and it gets its way to McElmoyle. Keegan McElmoyle. There's going to be a minor going against, I think, the against Ennismore, and now Clopeford's going to get the minor too, so
Yeah.
now both are going to lose somebody. Elbowing, and not sure what they're going to give Clopeford, but you can probably call it interference of some description.
Probably interference, illegal cross check, one of the two.
Pick your poison.
And that will probably go Ennismore possession now after Clopeford took the second penalty.
As Cole Begley will get the first minor for elbowing on the Ennismore side, so 4-on-4 for a full 2 minutes, as it will be, as you mentioned, the Ennismore ball, because they were the team who took, or Owen Sound was the team who took the second penalty. So Churchill will start with it here. And it's a legal cross-check going against Clopeford, as you mentioned. That ball into the middle. Back shot, great save there by Gavin Clark. They're on a streaking Bryce Dennis, who's been very good for Ennismore. Does not show up on the goal sheet yet, but has been very good regardless. Now Dawson McKenzie. Look at the screen for McNabb. Back for McNabb. Missed him. Picked up, though, by Jake McNabb. Got 10 to work here. Back up for Dawson McKenzie. McKenzie will fire that one, whistled wide, and out of play. That ball picked right up by Churchill. Churchill was fended off, though, by Kelly. That ball put, I thought, towards the net, but deflected and never got there, as Doolittle will fake it and play it back, as Colin Kiddo will now play it forward, and now in will come Andrew Kelly. Kelly off for Cascanet. Love to see the junior B make their way up to senior B. Trying to swim away there was Maudsley. That shot deflected, and no, it was not. They're going to say it went straight out. So everyone trying to get off the floor here as that ball will start right about mid-floor. Harlan. Trying to get it away, bounced it a little far, but it doesn't end up getting its way to the intended target there of Ennismore. Looking to fire, now running right into Kruger. The James gang trying to fire, getting harassed there by Stevenson and Kruger, and joining in there was another North Star. That was Lance. That ball shot and deflected, and pretty good collapsing defense there by the North Stars.
Yeah, real good job by Carson Stevenson on that double. He waited till the player was engaged. His player was no danger. He came off him and did a great job coming over the top and controlling his stick.
Churchill. 8 seconds left here on the 4-on-4 before it becomes 5-on-5. Back to even strength. Play down low. That shot right into the stick there as Stevenson picks it up. Stevenson's got to move it, however. He'll play it right into the middle, and it runs right into the stick of Dustin Lance, who plays it over for Kruger, who will mosey his way onto the offensive zone. Kruger off there for Keegan McElmoyle. Played off now, that shot from a mile away. Missiled wide, and now away will go Ennismore. Dashing away. Go the James gang. Played back for Churchill. No, faked it and will end up retreating.
that dog has hunted, as they say, or won't hunt anymore, because they've only managed 1 goal this period by not getting inside.
It's a 1-1 tie in the second period on goals. That pass missed its intended target, wasn't even looking for the ball. As fighting for it there is the netminder, and the whistle will now go, so Gavin Clark will have a chance to play it. Back now for Jake Doolittle. Doolittle will race his way into the offensive zone. They're going to call a slash there against Ennismore, so Doolittle causing another minor going against the James gang.
Yeah, that was just a needless, undisciplined slash there. I mean, Jake certainly got over the...
Whistle's going to go, and McLeod, an extra couple whacks there for the trouble.
Well, he took a pretty good slash on the hip there from Churchill, so he took exception there. And
Mike's still barking about it, and you see there, he pointed right at his hip.
Yeah. We'll see how this goes. It certainly should be a double minor going one way, and McLeod with the retaliation.
My only question would be, Steve, if they call on Churchill, if it's a second straight penalty, is it 2 separate minors? Which would make it 4-on-3, not 4-on-4. Or would it become a double minor and make it 4 minutes to 2?
They go 4 and 2, I would believe, but hey, I only complain about the rules. I don't know them all.
Well, they do change just about every year, it feels like. Usually I mentioned a couple of the new ones. Slash, I think, was one of them. And it will be a 4-minute one way, 2-minute the other. So away for 4 minutes will go Churchill. Away for 2 will go McLeod. So it will be 4-on-4 in favor of Owen Sound for a full 2 minutes, or in favor of both teams for 2 minutes. And then a power play will come right after. McNabb trying to get away. That shot right into the wickets there, and a good save. Trying to hit the lead runner. Does get there, but goes right through the stick there as Clark will pick it up. And now Barfoot plays it over for McKenzie, who was chasing the rush. Reason why that pass wasn't completed in the end was because of the work there by Dawson McKenzie. Shot there, good save. McNabb will pick it back up. Back for Cascanet. McNabb. McNabb bouncing, trying to spin. Back behind the back. Nice save there by George, who of the 10 goals only allowed 3 of them. That ball bounced, and McNabb almost was Johnny on the spot there, as Gord Chapman would say. Harland makes his way into the offensive zone. That pass across the top, nice move there, and in, and that's the third for Ennismore.
Yeah, that's a real nice cut. Dustin Lance got caught flat-footed, couldn't handle his guy, and he came across, dumped it under the glove going away from the crease.
That's Caleb French with his first marker of the night, so 10-3 now with 3:39 left in the second period.
Yeah, you see Lance just kind of cheat looking to maybe pick that pass off and got into no man's land, couldn't recover, and nifty little shot. So you've got Ennismore winning this period 2-1. So, you know, they're a long way from coming back in this game. However,
no lead is safe.
No, I mean, I think we were 7-3 last week, late in the second period with the Six Nations, and we know how that turned out. So Owen Sound needs to kind of get back on their horse here and stop playing for the outside shots.
Now will fire it. It was deflected before it ever got towards the net. Trying to fight for it there is Harris. Harris couldn't retrieve it. Harris will take a bump into the boards as possession now changes. So the shot clock now starts as McElmoyle playing some really good defense there, or offensive defense there, as it does end up getting all the way down to the Owen Sound end. 4-on-4, those about to expire. As J.J. Briers now. 4-on-4 will conclude, so now power play begins for Owen Sound. Played into the corner there as the shot clock was about to expire. Clark will play it there for Braden Kruger as Kruger will saunter. McKenzie. Cascanet. Maudsley. Cascanet. McKenzie, Cascanet. Back now for McNabb. That shot saved again. McLeod trying to retrieve it. Now it's going to go McNabb. Called on it, and it'll be another minor going against the James gang.
I'm not exactly sure what this call is. A pretty soft call against Ennismore here, especially being in the man down already. What they kind of call an interference. Roughing.
Another roughing.
It seemed like it just an innocuous push in the chest as they were battling for the loose ball, but Owen Sound is the benefactor of such call.
5-on-3 now for 1 minute and 24 seconds.
It'd be nice to see Owen Sound here activate the crease man. There we go.
Off the crossbar there by Maudsley. Still got to get it over though in 8 seconds to Ennismore. Just thrown down to the Owen Sound end. It is retrieved there by Wyatt Barfoot. Surprised there by the rookie netminder George's decision. As now Cascanet will cruise in. Mentioned Barfoot is at the red line right now. Passed in front. That's a great save there on Maudsley. McKenzie for McNabb. McNabb back for that newcomer. That shot. What other great save there by the netminder. And they're going to say it's now an Ennismore ball. A couple good chances there for Maudsley. Can't find the net.
Yeah, he's in both times he tried to walk across the net rather than...
Not over and back, and it is an over and back. Got to play it quick here. Lance plays it forward. McNabb in alone. McNabb scores! Jake McNabb finally gets Owen Sound back on the board, and it's 11-3 in favor of Owen Sound, and that will take off the first minor, which was at 30 seconds, and will now be 5-on-4 for another minute and 5.
And again, that center line came into play here. I'm not quite sure. Jensen Walker took a big hit there at center, dropped the ball as he'd already gone over the center, creating that over and back, and Owen Sound was able to find Jake McNabb, who was still up the floor.
Owen Sound's done it a couple times here tonight where they pushed a guy or hit a guy at the red line. They forced him back, which is, in fact, over and back.
Yeah, so you just have to be cognizant of, there's going to be collision. Either don't get over that line or take a wider berth and try to deflect the hit so it's not straight on and you can continue on into the offensive zone and beat that clock. But
basically run down the red line and try to keep yourself on your side as long as you can is what I would say probably the best recommendation you can give. That ball's bounced actually right into the stick of Andrew Kelly. Kelly's going to wait here for some offensive reinforcements. As now it is still possession there for Owen Sound, and it's McKenzie. Played off now for Cascanet. McKenzie back now for McNabb. McNabb fires it again. It's wide, but retrieved just by Cascanet. Maudsley, McNabb. Shot behind, pass behind the back there. Did make its way to Maudsley, but now retrieved by Cascanet. That shot low, save there on... That looked to be McKenzie. They're trying to get it forward there, and finally do get it forward as trying to get another chance on target. They can't. That ball bounces into the corner. Trying to pick it up there is Owen Sound, and they will. Played forward now. About 11 seconds between power play and game clock. That shot by Barfoot. Bounces right back into the restricted area, and we go back to Ennismore. Ennismore should have the last possession of the period with about 12 seconds left here in the frame. 11-3, 2-2 of the goals. That shot off of the netminder. No, it was not. It was bounced into the pavement, and that will be the period. 11-3 after 40 between Owen Sound and Ennismore. 2-2 the goals between the two sides, as obviously not as stellar of a period for Owen Sound as the previous, but still up by the landslide 8 they were after 20.
Yeah, sometimes when you get a big lead like that, players let their foot off the gas. They think it's going to be like that going forward. And Ennismore played a real solid period, as the score would indicate. And, Owen Sound fell into a few bad habits there, and they probably stopped working as hard as they did in that first period. So anyways, they got some big room for improvement, and I'm sure Ennismore wants to keep chipping away at this lead and go home feeling good about the last 40 minutes of the game.
We'll see what two teams we come into contact with in the third, potentially final period, as usually score lines lopsided usually lead to rougher outcomes, but the referees have been calling some stuff that you and I can kind of admit may not be, I'll say soft, but may not be necessarily obvious. And because of that, I think they're trying to nip in the bud the idea of a rough end to this game, which I do appreciate.
Yeah. No, they've been equally fair to both sides, and unlike last week, not that the referees were unfair, but they let a lot more go early in the game, and
it led to a lot rougher end.
It did, although it was evenly distributed by both teams, so certainly no fault of the refereeing at all. It was just the players continued to take liberties, seeing how far they could go, and they both clubs learned they went over the line more often than not. So.
Alrighty, and we're right back with the second intermission, my interview with Jordan Cascanet of the Owen Sound North Stars. Stay tuned for that, as more to come here between the Ennismore James Gang and the Owen Sound North Stars. Watch this on Rogers TV.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So, they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then, they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Calling all journalism students. Omni Television is once again awarding scholarships to qualified students pursuing a career in third language journalism.
You could go from here to here. Get started. Apply for the Omni Scholarship now.
Omni is home to a variety of locally produced current affairs programs and daily national newscasts, broadcast in 6 languages. To learn more about Omni Scholarships, visit omnitv.ca/scholarships.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking on Rogers TV. Join me this fall for more interviews with our local, provincial, and federal politicians. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Lynn from Third Eye View, and welcome to a brand new season that we're looking forward to. We have some return guests and some brand new guests. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your summer, stay safe.
And welcome back to the St. Vincent de Meaford Community Center, second intermission between the Owen Sound North Stars and the Ennismore James Gang. Spencer Byers alongside me, Jordan Cascanet. Jordan had a couple goals last weekend in the loss to Six Nations. Obviously not the result you wanted, but still a pretty good experience in your first game down in Durham, now first game here in Meaford. What's it like to kind of move venues in your second game of the year?
You know, the first game of the year is always tough. You know, everybody's trying to find their stride, trying to find, you know, what they picked up on from last season, and it can be tough, and I think we played pretty good. Six Nations has got a good team, so we're just going to look to make another step forward today and hopefully find the win column.
A guy who had a great game against Six Nations was Gavin Clark, your netminder. What was it like having Gavin in his first game really step up for you guys?
You know, he played really good. He was solid back there, and you know, that's what we need, right? You always need to have a solid backbone as your goalie, and that's what he gave us, so hopefully he can do it again tonight.
If there's anything he could fix coming into that Six Nations game coming into tonight against Ennismore, what would that one thing be?
I think just taking the opportunities when they present themselves, you know, take the shots when they're there, and we got to bear down when we get those prime opportunity scoring chances.
Well, Jordan, the leading point getter of the North Stars last season, my last question here for you is, if there was one key tonight against Ennismore, what would that one key be?
You know, just got to start well, right? They had a long trip to get here, so we got to get up on them early and hopefully put this game to bed before it gets started.
All right, thank you so much, Jordan Cascanet of the Owen Sound North Stars. Good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with the third and potentially final period here in Meaford after this on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Carol Merton, host of We All Belong, Our Neighbors, Our Community, a new Rogers TV series promoting the diversity of our community in Grey County. Please join me on Rogers TV.
What would the world be without a bone marrow burger? Yeah. Or if you couldn't track down the best taco truck surfers? Or never knew Worcestershire sauces and tikka masala could tick all your boxes? What if you'd missed the fried chicken with kimchi and it never melted firsthand for the pierogi grilled cheese?
It's so good.
Where would you go and what would you try if you didn't get the best tips from the tippiest guy?
You're welcome.
All new Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, Friday night at 9 on Food Network.
Hi, I'm JC Coots, and I am the host of Attack Hockey broadcasts on Rogers TV and Owen Sound. This is something I've been doing now for, I think this is season number 3 for me. It's just been the absolute honor of my lifetime to be working with such an awesome crew. Mark and Adrian, who do the play-by-play and the color commentary, respectively, up in the booth. And, of course, Spencer Byers, our good buddy, that also works on the broadcast. It's just, I look forward to Saturday nights at the Bay Shore, not just for the Attack Hockey, but just the fact that you're getting together with a bunch of friends and putting out a great broadcast. It's super valuable to volunteer at Rogers because I started volunteering on hockey broadcasts, and that ended up getting me a 20-plus year career in radio and got me back on TV with the Attack. You really never know, just by volunteering, what career paths or possible doors it's going to open for you.
Hi, I'm Carol Merton, host of HealthLink on Rogers TV. HealthLink connects home, community, and healthcare with interesting topics and speakers about your health and your community.
Now, welcome back here to the Meaford and St. Vincent Community Center on Rogers TV. OSL Lacrosse between the Owen Sound North Stars and the Ennismore James Gang. 11-3 after 40 minutes of play. A 2-2 split in the goals in that second frame. Not as stellar of play for Owen Sound, but in fairness, they still come out 8-goal leaders after 40 and go into a final period where all they have to do is keep themselves a little bit above water to get their first win of the season in their second game of the season. Again, to mention, they play Brooklyn tomorrow. They play the Merchants at 4 o'clock here in Meaford. And taking a look at the schedule for the Knights, the Knights of Meaford. I'm thinking of hockey right now. The Owen Sound North Stars, the OSL squad, again, play tomorrow against the Brooklyn Merchants. And then they play at Collingwood, which is technically here, so is an away game, but I don't think technically will be here in Meaford. Then they play at home down in Durham against the Hamilton Bengals, and then start a road trip against Collingwood, and then go down to Six Nations to begin the month of June. So some more home games coming the way of the North Stars, which definitely should play them pretty well here as they continue their start of the OSL season. The Junior Bees are also beginning their season right about now. The MSL squad is starting their season in just a couple of weeks' time, so I know Steve and I will be getting ready for that here between the Meaford and Durham arenas. But for that will be it here for us. Coming back for the third period between the Owen Sound North Stars and the Ennismore James Gang as you watch it here on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking on Rogers TV. Join me this fall for more interviews with our local, provincial, and federal politicians. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Lynn from Third Eye View, and welcome to a brand new season that we're looking forward to. We have some return guests and some brand new guests. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your summer, stay safe.
Trust me, you are not going to want to miss this. Welcome to the little shop of spring magic, where anything is possible.
It's magical.
13 pastry prodigies will create stunning sweets. It's extreme. The baker who's got the magic touch.
This is taking me back to my childhood.
Will win it most magical title of all, Spring Baking Champion.
Now that's what I call spring magic.
Never stop. Yeah, we gotta have it. We got the magic.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But Because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
And welcome back here. Third period between the Owen Sound North Stars and the Ennismore James gang about to be underway. 11-3 the score after 40 minutes of play. Spencer Byerson alongside me, Steve McCarthy, for what should be an interesting finale regardless of what way it falls. Klopfer takes it off the face-off. Barfoot. Down there for that, what could be one of the defenders, is now off for Harris as both Barfoot and Dogue go off. McNabb looking to fire it. Passes it now up top. That shot Maudsley off the foot and sky high, so it should stay Owen Sound's way with the reset, and it will.
We're looking for ticket number 4921797.
Looking to fire there. Now shot, Maudsley, good save there. McKenzie fighting for it, ball comes loose, and away it will come. So that's actually Sargentson now with possession. Adam Sargentson now plays it off. McNabb. Back now for Cascanet, fresh off the bench. Cascanet, Harris. Harris looks to fire, that one will go wide. McNabb does retrieve it. McNabb down low, trying to fire, stepped in before he could, was saved regardless. There was Dawson McKenzie.
Yeah, good effort though to come down the lane there and get on top of the crease. You know, we've seen a lot of perimeter shots come from Owen Sound that found their way in the net early in the game but have been stifled recently, and good to see them trying to work the ball around and get inside.
That it is, Ennismore just can't seem to find the passing. As Owen Sound now with possession. Cascanet got 8 to work here. Maudsley trying to fire it. Maudsley fires behind his back. It's deflected, and possession will now stay there will now go to Ennismore. McNabb wanted another off-ball call as he went down earlier in the possession. Didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a footing miscue or he took a good heavy shot, but they have been pretty good at calling stuff off ball earlier tonight, so it did occur right in front of the referee, so we'll...
Dennis gonna fire right off of Stevenson, hit right off his shoulder. Carson Stevenson's one big and tough customer, and he took that one right off the shoulder, it looked like. That ball into the middle, it's deflected and goes right into Gavin Clark. Clark off for Klopfer. Has a runner and he'll pass it down. Waited for Rob Harris and it will hit Harris. Harris back now for Sargentson. Sargentson cruising in, back for McNabb. McNabb will fire it, great save there as it goes out of play. We'll mention Harris is the only member of the North Stars with a white helmet, white gloves, and white shoes, and a white stick. So at least he's got style. As
or no style, one of the two.
One of the two. As Cascanet looking to fire it, that one wide, goes behind the net, and retrieved there by Sargentson, who was trying to make his way around. McNabb, back for Cascanet. Cascanet will fire, it scores! Oh no! They're gonna say that I assume it was McNabb was in the crease. So that one gets chalked off the board, and away will come Ennismore now. Gonna get forced towards the red line again. Was able to keep on side though. Andrew Kelly. Pass now into the corner. It misses. Kruger tried to retrieve it. So did Lance. It will bounce up as still fighting for it there is Doolittle now coming against the boards. Whistle will go and possession will stay with Ennismore.
Well, Ennismore, they're still playing hard here, and they've they picked up right where they left off in the second period. So they're making a game of this. Unfortunate, when you fall behind as deep as they did, it's pretty tough to get back in.
That ball is going to bounce right into the netting. It looks like it does end up staying in play. About 13 seconds left here on the shot clock. Make it 10. Ball's now held up against the boards. There's some jawing there. Looks like farther up the floor. That ball is going to be definitely held at the end of the shot clock, and it will be as the ball finally squirts out there to Kruger. As Kruger for Doolittle. Doolittle takes a whack for his trouble. He'll play it right across now for one of the newcomers, McKenzie. McNabb takes the screen from McKenzie. McNabb will bump into his defender, trying to get away. That one gloved down by the goalkeeper, George, who will not try to push it and will wait a second. That ball fired up now. It misses everybody and will bounce into Churchill, who shoots it, and a good save by Clark. Almost a miscue there by the very good so far tonight Owen Sound defense as Stevenson will now race up the floor. Stevens is going to take a beating for his trouble, however. Stevens a big body, though, and doesn't really care. Almost missed Cascanet, however. Does get, though, to Jordan, and now back offense will go Wyatt Barfoot, Cascanet, and the rest of the North Star. Sargentson moves in, and they're going to call it, and possession will go the other way. I believe that was Rob Kloepfer who will get the whistle against on the illegal screen / looked like an elbow. What the referee was signaling there is Churchill. Right around the net will go. Churchill stops up just before he gets there. Trying to get around. Kelly went for the big hit. Lance still playing some defense there. Ball will be passed in front. I ended up getting blocked before it ever left. And that will be a shot clock as Owen Sound will now gain possession. Owen Sound's done a great job here on defense in the third and potentially final period, forcing a couple different shot clock violations. Barfoot.
What's the third period,
As McNabb gets it in. That shot was deflected, did not make it on target there, as that was Dawson McKenzie. Ball bill is retrieved by Maudsley.
Yeah, he stripped Begley there in the corner there, and Owen Sound back on the 30.
And now it's Mike McLeod. Played towards the net. I think it missed his intended target of McNabb.
Yeah, defender did a good job of getting on top of McNabb's stick, and he couldn't get it up there to retrieve that pass.
Cascanet having to play some defense on his numerical counterpart. Cascanet just marauding now, just trying to force a double here and get the possession change. Can't seemingly get it, though, was Doolittle. Down will go the offensive player. Ball scoots towards the red line. Does stay in the Owen Sound end, but they got 5 to work here. Doolittle keeping himself in front. That pass does not get completed, as now Cascanet will take it, and Cascanet will fire it for Kloepfer, who will take it. Cascanet showed himself pretty good there on defense.
Yeah, I mean, he's athletic and pretty heady player, so it doesn't surprise me that he can play a 200-foot game.
Harris looking to move here. Harris right on the paint. He'll have to turn the other way. Will shoot now, and it's fired wide. McNabb, though, just catch it off the glass. McNabb passes it back. It does miss, as it's going to have to be fired by McKenzie. McKenzie right into the wickets, and they're going to say it never got there. They're going to say the shot clock went first, so possession will stay to Ennismore. Getting it over there was Ennismore. Churchill. That bounced right into the chest protector there is Stevenson, and the Ennismore player are going at it, and Stevenson grabbed a hold of it. Stevenson's got probably, I'm not sure how many pounds, but he's got probably 4 or 5 inches on him. So that'd make you assume he's probably got 20 or 30 pounds on him. So of all the guys you want to tangle with on the Owen Sound North Stars end, I think Carson Stevenson's probably the last one. If not Mike McLeod, it would be Carson Stevenson.
Well, we're going to get 2-minute offsetting minor here, so we'll blow a little 4-on-4 again, I think.
And it was Bryce Dennis, the one who tangled up with Stevenson. Dennis, again, one of the better offensive players here for the James gang. Possession will go to Owen Sound off the 2 minors. Cascanet will race. Missed Maudsley. Is, though, picked up by McNabb. McNabb over there for McKenzie. Dawson McKenzie will fire it. It goes wide, bounces off the defender, right into the stick there of George, who will bounce it. Had a runner, did pass it to Churchill late, and Churchill never got it. That ball does bounce away, though, in the corner. 2-on-1 in favor of Owen Sound there in the corner. Trying to retrieve it, can't, now does. And away will go Owen Dale. Minor's going to be called here as some more shots right there against the glass. That was Kruger coming to stop there as Dale got forced down. So I think that Minor's going to go against Ennismore, so it'll be 4-on-3 in favor of Owen Sound. And Riley Caldwell looks to be the one going for the trip.
Got a trip. It's hard to see along the boards there. Owen Dale had beat him, and I thought he had pushed him on the back of the shoulder blade and kind of momentum drove him forward, but he might have got the leg in there as well.
And now it'll be 4-on-3 as McNabb will start with Cascanet, Maudsley, and McKenzie. Played now for Maudsley, Cascanet, McNabb, Cascanet, McNabb. Down now for Maudsley, that shot. Save there by George. He was right on the goal line, so he had no room for error. Fired now past Cascanet. Will go right towards his counterpart, and Gavin Clark will nab it and say thank you very much. And now Cascanet will go. A lot more floor to cover for these two sides, 4-on-3. Maudsley, Cascanet, McNabb, Cascanet, fires it. That one whistled wide, and it will be an over and back.
Yeah, again, you'd like to see Owen Sound with a little bit more ball movement, a little more creativity here with a 4-on-3 opportunity, with the game well in hand, and work on stuff that may be come into play in a shorter, in a closer game like they're apt to be in tomorrow with Brooklyn coming to town.
And again, Brooklyn was in the finals last year for the President's Cup, so
yeah,
you got to assume it's going to be a tough night out, especially after playing today.
Yeah, they're hosting the President's Cup this year, and they'll certainly have a very deep and talented lineup.
And now Churchill's get forced into the boards, and he, I thought, lost it, but Churchill fighting through a couple different checks there from Cloakfer and Owen Sound. That shot right on target, saved there by Clark as he'll retrieve it. Gavin Clark, though, continues to be a bright spot for Owen Sound.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big body, but he's shown that he's got some reflexes in his game, and pretty calm and composed so far in the first 2 games he's had action in.
I'm going to have to ask you a question here, Steve, in just a second, because that minor just came on the board. That shot goes wide. Retrieved, though, by Maudsley, because they just added the second minor, so I'm not sure how that all worked out. As that passed across, Maudsley will fire. That's a good save. That shot again misses. That was McNabb. Cascanet. Back for Cascanet. Cascanet across from McNabb. McNabb will fire. That's a good save. And they did have a stopwatch for that second minor. And Gavin Clark's just going to retreat because he wasn't sure either. So Ennismore should have possession. They were never able to get a hold of it. And whistle now goes, and possession will stay with Ennismore.
Yeah.
As it is now 5-on-5. Actually, no. Pardon me, it's 5-on-4 right now. Now 5-on-5. They do get the fifth guy out there. It misses. It does hit the right trailer. It's Dennis. That shot off of the post. Retrieved, though, by Barfoot, the captain. Now Wyatt Barfoot takes a couple hits for his trouble. He'll play it as he gets hit down at the red line, and it will get to Kruger. Now for Rob Harris. Harris is going to race down. Harris, right across, missed the intended target. I think it got saved in the end and popped up, and the James gang will come. Harris had to play catch-up there, and he does, and that's going to be an over and back.
Again,
Great job there by Harris, you'd say.
Yeah, and again, just a lackluster on Adam Churchill's part to stand stationary and try to flip that ball back as he was getting hit. The momentum of his stick allowed the ball to release way too high for his teammate.
McElmoyle plays it over. That ball goes right through McKenzie. Right into the corner goes Owen Sound. Does retrieve it there. It's Dustin Lance, who's playing some offense right now. Got 7 to work. Lance towards the net. Lance! Great save there. Dustin Lance doing some work there on offense. And did he get a minor call, or are they going to call that on him? Because they called interference. I'm just not sure who they called it on. And they called it on, I think, McNabb? And they're going to do a bottle check here for both netminders.
No, I think Lance is going to get a goalie interference call here on the crease dive. You can't make contact with the goaltender if you're going to attempt the crease dive, and he clearly dove straight at him almost from the goal line. So.
So it will be a power play in favor of Ennismore, who you always could say, Steve, as you mentioned with Owen Sound, could also do what you said Owen Sound should do, is just try some stuff, because what do you have to lose?
Well, yeah, I mean, their perimeter shot game is not, had any success since the goaltending change was made. They just haven't really got anybody involved on the power play. So.
I thought a chance there for Rob Clofer to go, but he decided that the smarter thing to do would be to chew the shot clock, and I would have to agree with him as he just lobs it back for Cascanet. Cascanet played over. That shot scores! Right through the stick there, and a first marker for Dawson McKenzie, who's had quite a few opportunities, especially in the third. Finally gets himself on the score sheet. Something I think we're going to see quite a lot this season is McKenzie getting on the score sheet, and he finally does here tonight.
Yeah, the Fergus native is a pretty skilled guy. He went to school at Princeton, so he's also pretty intelligent, we would assume. And, yeah, he's certainly showing a knack for offense here tonight. Just hasn't been rewarded up until now.
I mean, going to an Ivy League school must mean you're pretty smart. And Kelly's going to go force, and he almost got forced the red line there by Kelly. Another one of the big bodies here in Owen Sound. Dennis fires. That shot does make it towards the net, so they will get the shot clock reset there as Churchill. Played back. They're still on the power play. That was a shorty technically for Owen Sound. That ball whistled wide, and that will be an over and back. Didn't even think about that, Steve. That was technically not only his first goal, it was a short-handed goal there for Dawson McKenzie. And now possession will go to Colin Maudsley. Another one of the guys making his first appearance of the OSL season here tonight, as McNabb down for Sargentson. Sargentson takes a couple whacks for the trouble. 10 seconds left in the shot clock. We'll just fire it, Sargentson. That ball goes wide. Harris does catch it. Harris will fire it. That one also goes wide. Harris retrieved it, I thought. No, he didn't. It's an over and back. And Harris and his combatant are jawing there at the blue line. So possession will now go to Ennismore with 18 seconds left here on the man up. Played across the top. That ball does not end up getting to its target.
Yeah, nice
right through
ball,
Briars.
Real good ball movement there, but again, just the execution was fell a little short.
And now Ennismore down the back to even strength. Klopfer takes it, has a couple runners in front. It's a 4-on-2. Owen Sound make it 4-on-3, make it 3-on-3, and Ennismore does get the runners out. Again, the benches being on the defensive side of the floor does give yourself a better chance of stopping odd man rushes like they did there. Rice run there, shot it right as he looked like he got into the crease, and they will say he touched in, so it will be Ennismore ball, as another good shot there by McKenzie, who's done very well in this third period. Forced right towards the red line, just kept it. There was Bryce Dennis and Ennismore. Ennismore trying to get towards the net. Dennis lost it, and a couple good whacks for Doolittle's trouble. He just throws it towards McNabb, who tips it into the Ennismore end. Right into the bench it went.
Yeah, I think Jake had a little bit more time, Jake Doolittle that was, to retrieve that ball and get his footing and move it up, although, you know, again, you get players understanding the urgency, and here we go again.
And that's taken away, and away will go Dogue. Aiden Dogue in, shot right off the crossbar. And that ball's gonna bounce right to the red line. McNabb gets it, hit from behind as he goes, and he had possession there for a second, and McNabb's gonna go here. And there we go. Some extra whack for some trouble, and everyone's gonna grab a guy. And here we go. Everyone's gotta hold the face masks. And again, that's your best offensive player. You'd say Stephen Jake McNabb, who's right in the thick of it.
Yeah, and that was a blatant hit from behind there, so it certainly should be at least a 4-minute variety on the checking from behind, which they rarely call anymore. Tend to go to the illegal cross check, but that was squarely on the numbers with the player barreling down the board. So, you know.
So we'll see how the minors shake up. McNabb does go and sit. Riley Caldwell goes to sit. I'd be surprised if no one on Ennismore gains a minor from the group that converged there right at the red line. Would also probably mention that Maudsley got himself involved, it looked like, as well did Dawson McKenzie, so one of them could also get an even up minor there as well. So again, we'll see how these all shake out with 4:42 left in this third period. Again, we'll mention that tomorrow at 4 p.m. here in Meaford, the North Stars will take on the Brooklyn Merchants. So stay tuned for that, as Owen Sound looks to go 1-1 through their first two games at home, and will look to make it a 2-0 start in Meaford against Brooklyn tomorrow. And it will be a face masking call against McNabb, and it will be a double minor going the other way against Ennismore, so it will be a 4-on-4 with the extra minor going the James Gang way, as Cascanet will start with it here for Owen Sound. McKenzie. Sargentson. Back for McKenzie, never got there. Cascanet couldn't get there, and it might be a breakaway chance here. And Cascanet and Maudsley got a race. Away, though, will go the James Gang. In, scores!
And again, just you got to be cognizant of who's taking care of the top when it comes to defensive play. And Owen Sound got all their guys down too deep, and when the ball turned over, they had no hope of getting back. And Mancini made no mistake. Nice little move here and dumps it between the legs.
That's Mancini's first of the night and of the season. They're on the 4-on-4. Stevenson now back in the draw against Martinell. That ball is won. Oh, both teams now really shooting around as it's retrieved there by the James Gang finally. Harlan. Whistle's gonna go. And they're gonna call possession change going the other way, and Ennismore unhappy about it, but doesn't really matter. Close to that red line, however, though, was Owen Sound. Harris. Trying to get away. Rob Harris. Harris will fire that ball off the post. It squirts out. Harris should be the first one there. It does end up getting touched towards Maudsley, so now Owen Sound will have it. McKenzie down for Keegan McElmoyle. McElmoyle gets around the screen, will fire and scores! Keegan McElmoyle gets himself on the board for the first time this year, and it's 13-4 in favor of Owen Sound.
Yeah, that was the type of shot that Cole George has been saving all night. A little, not much room here, but a nice bounce shot that somehow found the size of the ball to squeeze in there between the post and the leg guards.
We spoke about it against Six Nations, Steve, about finding other ways of scoring, that they can't just rely on McNabb, McMillan, who's not here tonight, and Jordan Cascanet, and they've gotten some other scoring. Now again, McNabb's got, from my count, 6 of them, but it's still nice to see other guys find themselves on the score sheet here tonight, especially some of the newcomers there, and McKenzie specifically.
Yeah, I think Sargenson's really played a good game for them too. You know, he's played well off ball. He certainly moves that ball well when he does have it in his stick, and you know, as a senior C player, he equates himself very well at this level. He could certainly be a regular if he chose to be.
Rob Harris as well, you could say Steve's been very good tonight.
Yeah, again, a lot of good skill set, good size, quick feet, quick hands. So, yeah, they're certainly looking a lot better offensively, skill-wise. They got a lot of room for improvement on decision-making when it comes to shots and so forth, but that'll come. Again, these guys, a lot of them never played together before, and it takes time sometimes.
And there's a minor going against Ennismore right as that 4-on-4 expired, so, and there's some barking, and they're going to send him, and it's, I think, Maudsley, and I don't know who, and they're going to send the guy who's barking.
That's Begley.
And it's Begley, and Begley's still yelling at him.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what he's saying, to be honest. Because it wasn't like he was flipping him off or anything, giving me obvious hand cues there of what exactly he was so upset about. I'm not exactly sure.
No. Well, the former Mimico Junior A player will get first dibs on the shower and towels today.
With 2:33 left, it'll be 5-on-4, or 5-on-3, pardon me. Yeah, he got on sportsmanlike and the misconduct. So again, it must have been something he said more than something he did. And then you have to wonder, Steve, did Maudsley maybe bump him or something that he didn't like, and he said something that, I'll say, said the magic words, and the magic words got him sent to the early shower. So we'll see what happens here. We'll mention that I actually think that first one, that McElmoyle goal was on the power play, because now it's going to be 5-on-4. As Barfoot, who's now playing some offense for the first time here tonight, Barfoot now around McLeod. Got hit before Lance ever took a shot there, as that ball's going to bounce in the restricted area. So kind of a new look power play there for Owen Sound, having not only Barfoot but also McLeod and Lance on the floor.
Yeah, Cloudy's had a lot of opportunity down in the crease, although they haven't utilized it real well in the power play. But yeah, you don't get to see Lance out there very often on the power play, nor do you see Barfoot.
That ball whacked right out of the stick there as it scoots into the corner. Andrew Kelly is the first one there, and Kelly's going to go. Kelly got speed to burn there as Kelly makes his way towards the net. He'll now turn off. Make his way off the 4-10. Has played up now. For McKenzie. McKenzie for Kelly. Kelly will fire it. That one's deflected, I thought, but it ends up going out of play anyway, so possession will go to Ennismore here with about 1:20 left in the game. Whistle's going to go, and why is there a whistle? I think they're arguing about maybe scoreboard of some description. Be happy with my guess. So wait, should it have been 5-on-3? Because there's a second guy in the Ennismore box here. So we're going to have a little conversation between the Ennismore coaching staff and the referees here, as you see there on your screen. So I'm not 100% sure how this is all going to shake out. And they're going to say Ennismore ball. And it looks to be no change. I can work with that. As Harris trying to play some defense there on Dennis.
We are 5-on-3, though.
Well, we are 5-on-3, though. Okay, so I was not hallucinating that the other guy was in the box.
You were not.
So Malcolm Oil's goal was on even strength, as I thought it was. Stick will get fired out of Dennis's hands, and now away will go Rob Harris. Harris. I'm not exactly sure, though, when that first minor expires now, Steve. So we'll see when that first player comes out, because the second player's out in about 12 seconds. 15 left to work here. That first player will come out. Second player will come out pretty soon. As Harris, I think, is just going to hold it for the rest of the shot clock, and this game's going to end 13-4, it looks like. Harris going to fire now with the shot clock about to expire. Good save there by George, and the clock will continue as George looking to get away with it. They got to get it over to Ennismore in the 8 seconds. That ball bounced over, and now Churchill will have a chance for the last opportunity of the game. That shot, good save there by Clark. Can't retrieve it, though, was Owen Sound, and now Kruger's got a hold of it, and that will be the game, I think, is Kruger's just going to hold it, and he'll just fire it into the Ennismore end. And that will be the game. 13-4 in favor of Owen Sound. They improve it from the first and second period margin of 8-9 with 2 goals in that third period. They scored 2 in the second, 2 in the third to make it a 13-4 final. As you can see, the offense dried up for Owen Sound, but when you get 9 in one frame, Steve, it kind of does that.
Yeah, that's again, they kind of got away from the maybe the early intensity they had on offense and settled for quite a while on the outside perimeter shooting, but third period was a little bit more activity down low and trying to run some 2-man games and looking to the crease, but again, Cole George played exceptional after coming in and only let in, I think, 5 goals in his 40 minutes, so certainly a good job on his part.
That he did, and again, it was a good game by Owen Sound to get their first win of the OSL season. They'll now play against Brooklyn tomorrow. A Merchants team that you and I have spoken about is very good and ready to be in the President's Cup one more time. So I guess, what do you think Owen Sound has to do tomorrow to be able to get a result against the Merchants that have been so good this year?
Well, again, yeah, I don't know that the Merchants have played yet this year, but they'll bring in a very deep lineup. They're certainly preparing to be in the President's Cup and earning their way, not just being the host. So they've certainly been a real good club here in the last couple of years, and I'm sure they're looking forward to being the host and putting on a good show. So I would expect they'll come with a full roster of some highly skilled players, and Owen Sound they'll have to play within themselves and not beat themselves. Stay out of the penalty box, limit turnovers, limit transition opportunities, make the Merchants really work hard to score.
Well, that, and they also have to keep Gavin Clark in the net, because Gavin Clark has been very good for them the last 2 games against Six Nations and now tonight against Ennismore, and if he can continue that tomorrow against Brooklyn, again, it could be a game